All right, everybody. This is the Haitian FREE Thinkers radio show. My name is Reggie. My co-host is James, and we're going to get right into the show. This is the news and views hour, if you will, about 30 minutes of quick entertainment/edutainment as James and I, catch you up on some of the things that we're interested in. But let me let you know who we are. First of all, the Haitian FREE Thinkers is a group of secular Haitians. We primarily link up on Facebook. We are also now on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. Just look us up, Haitian FREE Thinkers. And basically, Haitian FREE Thinkers is there for Haitians who are secular, humanist, atheists, agnostics, those who don't follow religion, basically, or believe in God. We primarily cater to atheists, but pretty much all are welcome. So if you have any questions, just hit us up on our Gmail. That's Haitian FREE Thinkers, all one word, @gmail.com. Or you can call us on our Google Voice number, which is 678-820-9474, 678-820-9474. So let's jump right in. Today's show is about 30 to 45 minutes long. So, James, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing today?
Doing good. So we were talking about your new job and your week. So let's continue that conversation a little bit as we catch the listeners to what's been going on with us.
All right. Well, again, how the week's going. It go by fast. Well, I started a new job on Wednesday, working with CMIT, and it's a good job, making pretty good, decent money and everything like that. And had my kids this weekend, and just right now I'm just relaxing, getting ready for work tomorrow.
Okay, that's good stuff. Now, this show is usually scheduled for Sundays at 11 a.m. Today we moved it up 1 hour to noon, and we used to broadcast every Saturday evenings at 11:30 p.m., so that's what's been going on. Last week there was no show. This coming Sunday there probably won't be a show because I have to go out of town once again. But besides that, we've been doing our thing pretty steadily. So James sent me two links to two different Haitian comedians that he wanted me to look at. I wasn't really aware there was too many Haitian comedians. I mean, other than like some of the ones that do the movies like Tonton Bichard and some of the old school guys like Lungi Shot. But these are some new, Americanized cats. So let us know a little bit about what you noticed with those two guys.
Okay, well, the second video link that I actually sent you to, I just wanted you to see that because he was just so funny. I remember that skit a long time ago, I think on HBO a while ago when I was just watching TV, and I remember seeing it, and I just remember him, and because that skit was just so freaking funny, I just had to send it to you. But the first one, that's to this new Haitian comedian. Have you heard a show called Tosh.0?
Which one?
It's called Tosh.0.
No.
Well, it's like a internet video type of thing. What this guy right here, he does something similar to it, but it's all a lot of Haitian. It's all Haitianized, basically, I can say. It's just so funny. He does a lot of acting, a lot of his writing and his own skits and stuff in it. So it's like a real funny. His name is said Joe, and he's comedy. He's really funny. There's another one called he does a lot of videos. He does like a remix of a lot of videos of rap.
Haitian Jonas?
Yeah, Haitian Jonas. Yeah, he good too. But say Joe, he does it like I don't know, more like he just does like videos and like Haitianize it, or he'll take a video of a Haitian person trying to speak English and he's explaining it, and it is so funny. And in one particular skit in that video that I sent you, I think it's maybe the first or the second skit where he's showing you the different type of Haitian men depending on wherever they at, and this is funny. He's telling the women, get a pen and a pad because I'm about to give you some notes that you should take down about Haitian men depending on where they at. and it was just funny how he was saying it. And I always remember when I was growing up, my aunt, depending on where a Haitian person was from, she would always have an opinion or an attitude towards them, you know. And I was just wondering, is that really serious like that? Or, you know, I just want to ask you or anybody who's listening, you know, how is that, you know, is that true? Depending on where Haitian is from, do they act a certain way? Do they have certain traits or qualities about them?
Well, yeah, I've heard of that before, especially for people in Haiti. They basically, you know your mannerisms based on what town you're from, if you're from the north, from the south. So I wouldn't be surprised that carries over to the U.S., you know. So, you know, people from New York, because, you know, we have a large Haitian population in New York, they tend to, I guess, be influenced a different way than people from South Florida or Florida in general. So I definitely think there's something to be said with that. Now, the second guy that you showed me, he made it all the way to, is that the Apollo he was performing at, or what was that?
I think that was just how, I think that was
Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah, Def Comedy Jam. That's what that was. Yeah, Def Comedy Jam.
Okay, so for those of you that are interested in looking at the clips, I did put it on the show description under Haitian comedians. So feel free to go ahead and look up some of these guys. I put Pedro and the other gentleman who went on Def Comedy Jam, but you know, Haitian Jonas is somebody that came to my awareness because there was a member of Haitian FREE Thinkers who was promoting him, and so I've seen some of his videos. They're pretty funny. Like, he does like music videos, and he just, you know, he's a pretty funny guy. So you feel free to check that out and support those guys, because, you know, we try to expose people to different things in the Haitian community, including us, which is a little bit of a rarity because not a lot of people know that there are atheists in the community. And like I said, if you are interested, if you have questions, because I know you do, you can find us on Facebook or you can join us here on the show. We would definitely like to hear from you guys. If you wish to call in, the guest call-in number is 646-652-4442, 646-652-4442. And I was telling you, James, about yesterday I took my wife and daughters to a planetarium first, and that show was for about 30 minutes, and they were explaining black holes, and it was just mind-blowing because there's so much that I don't know about, and I'm just amazed that we as humans who are on a very tiny planet are able to come up with all these things and figure these things out, because, I mean, it's wonderful. Then after that, we kind of walked around the museum. We saw different things, and I think that's wonderful. And I saw other parents taking their kids out there, and most of them were black. I saw one black Muslim family, and what makes them stand out is that the woman was wearing the covering, and I'm used to it, but like it's still kind of unusual to see sometimes. So I try not to make it uncomfortable for the both of us. But I'm glad to see that parents are taking their kids out to see, those kinds of things and nature and expose them to, education, even if they're religious, so it doesn't really matter. So I was really happy to see that. And after that, I took them to go to this nearby science museum about 5 minutes away here in Atlanta, called Fernbank, and we saw a IMAX movie called Jerusalem. And what's good about that, or special about it, is that it was following 3 different girls from the 3 major religions. They followed a Jewish girl, a Christian girl, and a Muslim girl. And the movie itself was beautiful. It was shot like wonderfully. I don't know if you've seen an IMAX movie before or lately, but I haven't seen one in a long time. But basically, go ahead.
I've never been to one. They actually just built one not too far away from me.
Oh, great. Well, basically, it's just they use different cameras, they use different film so that they can take in more space. So it's bigger, it's nicer, and they're usually not longer, but, and a lot of them tend to be educational, like the one that I saw yesterday. So I definitely would encourage you to go see one. And I also put the link of the trailer to the movie in the show notes, so you can check it out if you want to. But what was pretty crazy about the movie was that at the end, it basically talked about, well, during the movie they gave like, let's say, 7 minutes to each religion, explaining about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam was the third and last one. And basically, even though those people live really, really close to each other, would you believe that they really don't associate with one another too much? And I thought that was pretty unusual, but, like, it was beautiful to see the city, but it was sad to see that, there's still, like, underlying tension, even though that they're sharing the same space. So one of the groups that I saw was the Jewish men with the curls on the side of their head. Is there a large Jewish population where you at?
I don't know. If they are, they stay in another more affluent part of of the city or the town where I stay. They're not really, especially, you mean the ones, the curly hairs, I've never seen them around here. The only part, you probably see them in Orlando or in Tampa, like in a more metropolitan city, but not where I am, not in Polk County.
Okay. So,
you don't even see any Muslims, per se, that wear, like you did, you know they're Muslims, but not the ones that cover everything like you were saying that you saw. I mostly saw that when I used to live in California, and when I was over there, it was like a shock to me. Every time I saw them, I was thinking, I don't know, they're packing the fun of there, but then I had to learn to educate myself that, no, it's not right there.
Okay, so not that many Muslims and not that many Jews, but the Jews that they were in the movie, a lot of them were, I think, Hasidic Jews, and by that I mean they're the ones that were the black suits, with the white shirts,
and the curls.
And the curls. Now, the men are easier to tell than the women, and the women, they have a little bit of a dress code too, but I don't think they stand out as much as the men. And one of the things that stood out in my mind, like as far as the movie is concerned, is this hat that they wear. I don't know if you've ever seen the hat. It's kind of like this, look like a wheel of fur. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You say a wheel of fur?
Yeah, I'm going to have to send you a picture, but it just looks really funny. And, I just was thinking that if I was there, how I would keep myself from staring. And because I'm curious, I want to ask them questions, but I feel like, if I did step up to them, especially since I'm not in the United States, if I were to go over there, I don't want them to, send the police on me and, start like an international incident. So I just felt like, it was kind of sad that people are still separated by these religions, which are cousins. They're literally family, but there's a lot of beef that still is prevalent over there. And, at least with the Christians, and I think with the Muslims too, they expect like Armageddon or these big battles where a lot of people are going to die. So I hope that they, get it together and, take advantage of the opportunity that they have with all the tourist attractions and just, like just chill out and drink Pepsi or something. But I want to remind everybody once again that this is the Haitian FREE Thinkers show. I'm Reggie. My co-host is James, and you can call in at 646-652-4442. Once again, that's 646-652-4442. We encourage anybody out there who's listening to give us a call, ask us any questions, and just share your thoughts about whatever it is that's on your mind in relations to religion and atheism, because I know a lot of people are still surprised that there are Haitians who are atheists, so please feel free to give us a call. During this week, I ran into the story. I heard about the story of this young man who is a college football player who was going to go try out in the combine, and he left prematurely and disappeared for about 4 days because he said that God told him not to participate and that he would be picked up by the Seattle Seahawks, who just won the championship. Did you hear about that story?
Oh no! See, lately I Yeah, I've been so tired. I haven't really be watching the news or anything like that. But I'm going to look into that one.
Yeah, the link.
He left for 4 days because God told him to.
Yes. His name is Adam Muema, and his last name is Muema. He played for San Diego State University, and he is a running back. And basically, he heard a voice that he claims God that told him not to work out because all the college guys are working out, hoping that teams look at him and pick them up. And he, while he was in his training suit, it's a black spandex type of thing. He basically just left without telling anybody. He flew down to Fort Lauderdale Airport and just literally hung out there, didn't call anybody, didn't talk to anybody, and he resurfaced 4 days ago. And when he resurfaced, there was like, well, what are you doing? Where you were at? People were worried about you. He said that God told him that, he's supposed to get away and that he shouldn't perform, and also that he would get drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. Now,
I got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's just funny, but also two things come to mind of that. Either he really did hear voices and he left, or he was just scared of success, and then he left, then snapped out of him and was like, you can get your mind back, and you know what, you come up with a good story. And you know what, I'm going to say God told me to do it. I don't know, that sounds crazy.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way. Maybe he was, maybe he saw the other guys perform and he felt like, he wouldn't do as well, so you kind of hope that you can create some buzz another way, perhaps, because when they're running and doing they run, they do all kinds of things, and they keep your score. And if you do really poorly, then you might not get drafted as high as you could have, which means that you're going to make less money, or you may not get drafted at all. And he was not exactly one of the big running backs coming out of college. So for whatever reason, according to him, it was God, he left. So now, what I find interesting about the story is that he is putting God on the line by saying that not only is he going to get drafted, but he's going to play for the Seattle Seahawks, who already have at least two good running backs. So there's not really room for him on the roster as of right now. And is Seattle going to be obliged to take a look at him because of the God thing? And if most likely he's probably not going to play for the Seattle Seahawks. And if he doesn't,
think he's going to get drafted at all because he's caused the scene. He's showing that he may not be mentally stable, and they already have this whole thing with football players, and I forgot what the thing is called, but too many hits to the head, then they get suicidal and all that, and they're killing people, and so they you know what I'm saying? I think he showed some sign that he's not stable in some way, shape, or form, and I don't think no team is going to put him in their locker room because especially from what I've seen and what they talked about, that the NFL is really scrutinizing guys and putting them under the microscope because they don't want incidences that look bad on the NFL. Even the quarterback, what's his name? He's a quarterback for the Panthers. Basically the owner of the team told him basically, you got a low haircut. We like that low haircut. Don't grow it all out. Don't dread up. Hey, you got no tattoos. Your skin looks good. We're gonna keep it like that.
Cam Newton?
Yeah, Cam Newton. Yeah, basically like that. You don't have any tattoos. Your skin looks good. Keep it that way. You clean facial hair, keep it that way. You look more. We want you to be the face of this franchise. So now when they do stuff, they're looking more at a business. Now they don't care about somebody being wild and crazy and they can do all these plays on the field. They do care about that, but at the same time they're looking at, are you going to cause an issue or a lawsuit towards the NFL? And if you show that you may be a little bit off or unstable, you may not get drafted by a team.
It's funny that you brought that up because I know Cam Newton did have a little bit of a short afro, and now he doesn't have it anymore. I wasn't aware that it was because the owner his hair and told him to cut it down. So
No, like before he came onto the team, like the owner was basically telling him, "Hey, you look good. We want you to be the face of this franchise, and we don't want you going dreads and looking all crazy. We want you to be nice, wholesome guy." That's why he's on commercials, even though he hasn't really done or even performed that well, or even had a winning season. But he still see him on commercials, and he still gets endorsements because he had, he's the face of that franchise, and he's keeping it clean cut. And before he even came into the NFL, he had drama and some things coming baggage with him. So this is a way for him to leave that baggage and start over new.
Okay, that's excellent. Those are all good points. And one final thing I was thinking about the Muima story was that, you have other guys like obviously my man from Florida, Tim Tebow, who are religious. So why would people consider Adam Muima crazy and not Tim Tebow? I mean, they both kind of hear voices and they talk about God and the Lord. So
yeah, but Tim Tebow has never said, "Hey, God told me to go win a championship," or "God told me I was going to lose," or "God told me this and that." And the only thing he said is that this is my faith, and and he goes on the field, he'll do that little neat thing, but that's it. He's not saying God told him to go do something unexpected, especially when you work all your life to be at a point, especially at the combine, to go to the NFL to get that money and everything like that. And you're going to say God told you to leave success or leave your dream, or that's when people go to the combine. A lot of guys go to the combine, but a lot of guys don't go to the combine. Only a select few, because teams are looking at you and they're interested, and you want to be there to show and prove that you are.
That's true. I think you're right. I think he hurt himself, and he just added the God aspect in there for whatever reason. I never heard of him before this whole incident, and there's been a lot of issues with people in the past, like Theo Mentai, with this whole thing about his girlfriend.
Exactly.
And he still got drafted because he actually was better or higher rated than this guy. But once he got to the NFL, they told him to shut his mouth, and he did.
Exactly.
And so you haven't heard a peep from him. But it could have hurt him, or they say that he could have got drafted higher. But hopefully everything will stop for this young man. And once again, I don't think Seattle's going to take him. But, we'll see. Stranger things have happened. But what do you think? Go ahead.
What was the question?
I was going to ask you, what do you think religious people will say, or if he does get drafted or get chosen to play for the Seattle Seahawks, do you think he's going to be seen as not crazy?
Yeah, but then, if he did get drafted to Seattle Seahawks, I guess the religious people have something to hold on to and say. I guess they'll have something to say, but for the most part, I don't really see it happening.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be like, so what if we're gonna go to the Super Bowl or something like that, and we decent? What's he gonna do? Run off for 4 days? When the pressure is on for you to really perform, because in college, there's so many teams in college. There's so many different, and there's so many good people in college. You can hide, amongst the people, amongst other people, amongst the other college players. But when you're in the NFL, there's so many, about 20-something, 30-something teams. I don't even know how many teams, but it's you know what I'm saying. When you perform, like, it's all eyes on you. That Sunday, everybody's watching. I don't know. It seems like he probably folded under pressure a little bit, and I don't think they're gonna be questioning that.
Yeah, I mean, what's been going on with the Jonathan Martin Richie Incognito case, which looks like it's almost at the end right now, because Jonathan Martin got traded to San Francisco 49ers for a 7th-round draft pick. But it caused my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, a lot of unneeded publicity. And I think that you're right that a lot of teams are going to scrutinize people so that they don't give them any kind of negative publicity. A lot of teams don't they don't even need that because they're just trying to win and be relevant, you know. So a lot of people have to be careful about how they choose to express themselves. Even like on Twitter, like if you say anything on Twitter, they're gonna put your Twitter feed on
yeah. They will screen save it, screenshot it, and they will post it up and show everybody your comments.
So it's kind of like, I mean, you know, do we have freedom of speech, and you know, are people able to really keep it real anymore?
I thought about that the other day. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but like now it's like the punishment in like back in the days we didn't have internet. So if you made a comment, you know, a lot of people couldn't screenshot or whatever like that. They couldn't really, or you could just say, "No, that person was lying." But now it's more. If you say something, everybody can see it. It's like real time now. Back in the days, it was a little time before people could catch up to find out what you said back in the days or whatever like that. But now it's like almost real time. As soon as you put it out there, boom, you said it. There it is. The whole world can see it now. And it's like people are slow to catch on to, yeah, I have the freedom of speech, but more people are going to see what I'm saying. And these people have freedom of speech too, and they can backlash, they can have the right to give me backlash or not to agree with what I said. And, you know, they can curse me out if they want to.
And you could get fired.
Yeah, and you can get fired. Back in the day, somebody would have to find you. They would have to find the comment. They'd have to have it recorded. You know, they say, hey, did you say this? That? It'll be your word against the other person. But now you got Twitter, and as soon as you type it out there, that's you, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you could get fired, you could get arrested. But my concern is that people are not going to, you know, say how they really feel anymore because they're afraid. But that's just the way. You're right. I guess true freedom is not. I guess it's saying what you want to say without really fear of anybody saying nothing back to you. I guess you know. But we live in a world where everybody has that same freedom. So if you say something, they're gonna say somebody has that same freedom to say something back to you. So, and I think I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I'm fine with that. I'm fine with if I say that, for example, I don't like the Lakeland high school team. You know, and somebody says, well, the Miami Dolphins are a terrible team, you know. Yeah, that's fine. But at least I know how you really feel. You feel me? Exactly. You know? And that's basically what I would encourage. Last week or 2 weeks ago was Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent. You know, Easter's coming up. I don't know if we discussed Ash Wednesday, did we? Oh, no, I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't think we discussed it because I'm not sure exactly when it happened. But around here, I was surprised to see that there was a lot of people with the cross on their forehead. So my question is, did you see anybody with the Ash Wednesday cross on their forehead? No, not at all. I didn't see anybody recognize that. Okay. We are now officially in overtime, so I think that means that people cannot call in. So we have about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to wrap up the show. But Ash Wednesday, if you don't know too much about it, is basically the beginning of the season of Lent for Catholic Christians. I don't think Protestant Christians really celebrate that. But I learned about that not too long ago, and basically the Catholics take some ash, they stick their finger in it, they make the sign of a cross, and they keep it on their forehead, kind of like an advertising campaign for the season where, like, 40 days, it's supposed to stand for, like, the beginning of the 40 days that Jesus spent in the wilderness, according to the Bible, which culminates in him getting arrested and crucified, and that's the, Easter celebration. So you said that you didn't see anybody that had the thing on their forehead? No, but now that you described and told me what it was, I was looking at a TV show that it's called Sons of Anarchy, but one part is a Catholic priest. I guess he dipped his finger in some ash, and he went to the baby's forehead, and he did the ashy crosses like on the baby's forehead. I remember seeing that. Yep. So what's crazy about that for me is if you're not aware of what's going on, I would tell somebody like, hey, you have something on your face, because I don't know how you feel, but like, what's your policy on telling people that they got like boogers on their face or some crust on their mouth? Do you tell them? I mean, I'm talking about like strangers.
Yeah, like a regular stranger. I've actually told somebody that. I told a lady one day that she had what's that, lipstick on her teeth. And she acted like she was actually offended. And I guess I noticed it.
Yeah, some people like have a policy, and I don't know them, so it's kind of like, man, if I see like me, like sometimes if I don't lotion after I eat or whatever, I would have like what looks like asher on my lip, even though like I would lotion it before, like right after the shower, I lotion, but I don't know what happened. The weather over here is kind of cold, so after I eat or whatever, I need to lotion again. I would appreciate somebody say, hey, elbow me, nudge, nudge. You might want to, lotion your mouth or whatever. I think that's a good thing. What about you?
Yeah, man. If I got a booger or something ain't looking right, but something down there, hey, tell me X, Y, Z. Or, dude, I had a friend of mine. He was doing this to his face or something. I was like, man, I don't see nothing on your face. He's like, I'm trying to tell you, you got something on your face.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So
please tell me.
Yeah, so me too. I want you to tell me because I don't want to look crazy, if my zipper's down and all that. So, when I first saw this girl that she had the thing on her forehead, I didn't really understand automatically why she had it on, and so I was going to tell her that she had something on her forehead, and because at the last second I noticed that it was in the form of a cross, I figured that it was a religious thing. Now, if I had told one of the celebrating people of Ash Wednesday that they had something on their forehead, do you think that they would get upset?
I think that would be the 50-50 because they'll be like, dummy, this is like the shape of a cross, or or some people would be like, oh, they would have thought you just don't know. Why would somebody be walking around with ashes, a cross on their forehead? So they'll probably be understanding to tell you, yeah, this is Ash Wednesday and everything like that. But yeah, I think most of them probably get offended though. That'd be the first thing.
I think they'll be offended, but like there's people that are obviously ignorant, just like with the Jews with the curly fries, like I have kids, you have kids, how kids, they're honest. They're like, Daddy, why does that man have, his hair like that? Or with the Jewish men with the little strings that they hang on the side by their pockets, What if one of your sons goes and tugs at it? Because the little boys, they wear it too,
I remember when I was in the store and my little boy was like, why did they have a dot on your forehead? Like, one of the Indian people that were like, and at the register, they had a dot on their forehead. So I was basically, that's their culture. Now, and I had to teach them what culture was.
Exactly. So sometimes you're going to have that, and I hope the religious people understand that it's not mean, it's just that people are curious and they're not used to it. But I thought that was pretty interesting. So we are about 5 minutes into the overtime. I want to let everybody know that we are thankful for you listening to the Haitian FREE Thinkers show. Next week will be the weekend of the 21st. 21st or 23rd, I think the Sunday is. Yep, it's Sunday the 23rd. I'm probably going to go out of town, but the weekend after that will be, the 30th. So we will pick up from there at 11 a.m. next 2 Sundays from now. And you can listen to us here on Blog Talk Radio. You can sign up on iTunes and get all the past shows. And we continue to do that. So if you wish to see us on Facebook, just look us up on Haitian FREE Thinkers. You can email us at HaitianFreeThinkers@gmail.com. Look for us on YouTube, on Instagram, as well as Twitter. Do you have anything else to let the fans know?
Not at all. I'll be looking to some things, so I'll have more to talk about next show.
Okay. Well, until then, this has been the Haitian FREE Thinkers show. We'll see you in about 2 weeks.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.